William Shakespeare. The use of dramatic irony in engaging audiences. What is drama but life with the dull bits cut out, my friends? Consider this. How oft do we, in our daily lives, play the actors on the grand stage of existence, unaware of the script fate has penned for us? Do we not, in the grand unfolding of time, find ourselves at the mercy of irony's most dramatic? I greet thee with good cheer and a heart full of tales from which we might draw wisdom. For I am William Shakespeare, the bard whose quill has painted the human soul with all its virtues and vices, its comedy and tragedy. Today, let us converse about the magic of dramatic irony and its power to engage audiences in a spectacle of enlightenment. Our first act, if you will, is to explore the very essence of dramatic irony. This device, beloved and oft employed by playwrights, is a dance of knowledge and ignorance. It occurs when the audience holds awareness of circumstances that remain hidden from the characters themselves. Think of the tragic Oedipus, who sought the murderer of the king, not knowing he pursued himself. Or consider my own creation, Othello, who was blinded by jealousy, ignorant of Iago's treachery while the audience watched, helpless and all-knowing. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound lessons from the legend. Why, you might ask, does this matter to thee? Because, my good scholar, understanding dramatic irony is to understand the very nature of suspense and engagement. It is to wield the power to make an audience hang upon every word, to feel the weight of destiny as it hangs over the unsuspecting hero. Let us journey through my works and the many stages of the globe, where characters lived, loved, and perished, all under the watchful eyes of audiences wrapped with insight. Take, for instance, Romeo and Juliet. The young lovers' demise was not a sudden shock, for from the prologue, their fate was clear. Yet, did this knowledge dull the hearts of those who watched? Nay, it sharpened every tender word, every stolen embrace, until the very air was thick with irony. Now, consider how this might mirror your own world. Have you not watched a friend chase after a love that you knew was doomed from the start? Did not your knowledge color every interaction, every conversation you had with them? But let us not stop here. In my second lesson, we shall delve into the delicate interplay between dramatic irony and character development. How does knowing the end shape our perception of a character's journey? How does it transform the choices they make, the paths they tread? We shall uncover the threads of fate as they weave through the narrative. Take Macbeth, a tale of ambition's folly. The witch's prophecy set the stage for tragedy, and though Macbeth strove to claim destiny for his own, we, as the audience, foresaw his downfall. Each act of treachery, each step towards darkness, was a poignant echo of the inevitable. What then of your own ambitions? Have you, like Macbeth, ever been given a glimpse of a possible future and found your actions influenced by that knowledge? But let us not be ensnared by the confines of tragedy alone, for dramatic irony plays its part in comedy as well. In Twelfth Night, Viola's disguise as Cesario creates a web of misunderstandings that leads to a mirthful maze of misplaced affections. We laugh, knowing the truth, even as we long for resolution and revelation. How often have you been a spectator to misunderstandings in your life? How often have you wanted to reveal the truth, to cut the Gordian knot of confusion? And in our third lesson, we shall examine the morality of dramatic irony. It often acts as a silent commentator on the actions of characters, a mirror to their moral choices. Claudius in Hamlet prays for forgiveness, yet we know he cannot repent. The irony of his situation is not lost on us. His guilt is known, his soul laid bare to us, even as it remains concealed from others. Have you ever held a secret that weighed heavily upon your soul, one that, if known, might change the course of events? Have you ever watched another struggle with such a burden? In our final act, we shall reflect on the resolution of dramatic irony, for it must always resolve, as all things do. The audience's foresight and the character's blindness must eventually converge. The moment of anagnorisis, the tragic recognition, is where the true power of dramatic irony culminates. When Othello realizes his folly, the impact is not lessened by our foreknowledge, but magnified. The catharsis is all the stronger for our intimate acquaintance with the irony of his tale. I leave you now to consider, how might your life's dramas resolve if they were penned by my hand? What moments of anagnorisis await you, and how shall you meet them? As we part, remember that dramatic irony is not merely a tool for playwrights. It is a lens through which we might view our own lives, an invitation to seek understanding beyond the surface. So, I bid thee farewell, but not without a final thought. Look upon your own stage with the wisdom of the audience, see the greater tapestry of your life, and perhaps, in that seeing, find a path to your own resolution, a tapestry of truths, unraveled, the power of knowledge and the burden of foresight. In this act of our discourse, let us unravel the tapestry of truths that dramatic irony presents to us, exploring the profound depths of the power of knowledge and the burden of foresight. Imagine, if you will, the stage set for a tragedy most dire. Within Julius Caesar, the soothsayer's words to the titular leader, "Beware the Ides of March," echo in the ears of the audience, a portent of doom that Caesar himself dismisses to his peril. This knowledge, this foreboding whisper of fate, serves to heighten the tension within each scene that follows. The audience, privy to this secret, watches with bated breath as Caesar strides toward his destiny. Now, let us take this scene and apply it to our own lives. Have you ever been warned of a danger yet walked on, heedless of the advice? Reflect upon the outcomes of such times. Did the knowledge of potential peril change your actions, or did you, like Caesar, march forward to meet your fate? But dramatic irony is not merely a harbinger of doom. It also serves as a beacon of hope, illuminating the paths of our lives with the light of foreknowledge. Consider the tale of the Merchant of Venice. While Portia is disguised as a young lawyer, none suspect her true identity, yet we, the enlightened observers, know the truth. Her clever machinations and eloquent speech are all the more delightful for our understanding. In your own experiences, has the truth ever been cloaked in disguise, only to be revealed at the moment most opportune? Has foresight ever given you cause to smile, to rejoice in the eventual revelation that you knew must come to pass? And what of the burden that comes with such knowledge? For to know much is to bear much. In Hamlet, the prince is tormented by the ghost's revelation of his father's murder. This knowledge sets him on a path of vengeance that consumes his very being. We watch as Hamlet grapples with the weight of his secret, the knowledge that poisons his relationships and hastens his descent into madness. Consider, then, the impact of carrying burdensome truths within your own heart. How have they shaped your actions? Have they led you to decisions most difficult, to roads less traveled by? Now, we must also speak of the audience for whom the dramatic irony is a feast of wisdom. For you see, in the knowing, there is learning. As one watches Much Ado About Nothing, the misunderstandings between Beatrice and Benedick unfold with a comedy born of irony. We see their love before they do, and in this knowledge, is there not joy? Is there not a lesson in the way they blind themselves to the truth that is clear to all others? This brings us to a question most profound. How often do we, in our pride or stubbornness, refuse to see the love, the truth, the solution that is plain to others around us? What joy and understanding might we find if we only looked upon our circumstances with the eyes of an observer? Dramatic irony, then, is a teacher most effective. It shows us the follies of others in the hope that we might learn without falling prey to the same pitfalls. It implores us to look upon our life and the lives of others with compassion and understanding, for often we too are actors on the stage, ignorant of the script. In our next act, we shall explore further the interplay between dramatic irony and character development, and how this dance of knowledge and ignorance shapes the very soul of the narrative. We shall see how a character's journey through the fog of the unknown is a reflection of our own wanderings through the misty paths of life. So, I ask you, are you prepared to journey deeper into the heart of dramatic irony, to examine its role in the shaping of destinies both fictional and real? Let us tread carefully, for in the revelation of truths, we may find the unveiling of our own selves, the shadows of fate, unveiling the masks of destiny. As we delve further into the labyrinth of dramatic irony, we find ourselves at the precipice of revelation, where the masks of destiny are lifted and the true faces of our characters, and perhaps ourselves, are laid bare. Within the hallowed whispers of King Lear, there lies a tempest of irony as fierce as the storm that rages on the heath. The aged monarch, blind to the love of his true daughter Cordelia, and deceived by the false flattery of her sisters, Goneril and Regan, descends into madness. The audience, privy to the true loyalties and affections of each daughter, bears witness to the unraveling of a king whose misjudgment seals his tragic fate. This serves as a somber reflection on our own judgments. How often do we misplace our trust, our affections, based on appearances and sweet words, only to suffer the consequences of our blindness? If we could but see the intentions of those around us as clearly as the audience sees through the guise of Lear's daughters, how might our lives unfold differently? Let us turn now to the gleaming courts of Measure for Measure, where the Duke, disguised as a friar, observes the corruption within Vienna. We, along with the Duke, understand the depth of the vice that plagues the city, and yet we are compelled to watch the characters struggle within their flawed humanity. The dramatic irony here serves as a mirror, reflecting the disparity between appearance and reality, authority and righteousness. In your own realm, how often have you witnessed authority wielded without justice, or seen the virtuous fall prey to the schemes of the corrupt? The knowledge that there is more to each than meets the eye is a burden that we, as the audience, share with the Duke. Now let us consider The Winter's Tale, where the tortured King Leontes, suspecting his queen of infidelity, sets into motion a tale of loss and redemption. The audience, aware of Hermione's innocence, watches as the king's unfounded jealousy leads to years of grief. Yet, the dramatic irony does not merely serve to showcase Leontes' folly. It underscores the theme of time's ability to heal and reveal the truth. Reflect, if you will, upon the moments in your life where time has uncovered truths once hidden. How has the passage of years brought understanding, forgiveness, or clarity to your own narrative? And herein lies the crux of our exploration, the resolution of dramatic irony, the moment where hidden truths emerge from the shadows, where characters confront the reality that the audience has long since known. This revelation often brings catharsis, a purging of emotions, as the pieces of the puzzle click into place. Take, for instance, Pericles, Prince of Tyre, where the long-lost Marina reunites with her father, Pericles. The joy of their recognition is a poignant culmination of the audience's anticipation, a resolution steeped in the relief of truth unveiled. In your own experiences, have you felt the sweet release of a truth finally acknowledged? Have you embraced the catharsis of reconciliation, the end of a journey fraught with unseen perils? Dramatic irony, thus, is the playwright's symphony, a composition of hidden notes that, when revealed, play a melody that resonates with the heartstrings of its audience. As we move forward in our discourse, let us ponder how the unveiling of truth not only serves as a narrative device, but also as a profound life lesson. We have journeyed through the shadows of fate, unveiled the masks of destiny, and now stand ready to embrace the light of understanding. Will you, dear interlocutor, continue to walk with me through this exploration of the human condition as we seek the wisdom hidden within the folds of dramatic irony? Let us step forth with eyes wide open to the revelations that await. The denouement of destiny, embracing the illumination of insight. In the final act of our odyssey through the realm of dramatic irony, we reach the denouement, the point at which the tangled threads of destiny are unraveled and the tapestry of the narrative is finally revealed in its full, intricate design. This is the moment of enlightenment, where the darkness of ignorance is pierced by the piercing light of insight. Within the walls of Elsinore, the tragic figure of Hamlet reaches his own denouement. The audience, who has long been privy to the prince's internal turmoil and the true nature of his uncle's treachery, witnesses the culmination of Hamlet's quest for vengeance. The dramatic irony that has laced the plot now resolves as each character confronts their fate, and the audience is left to ponder the cost of truth and the value of introspection. This moment begs you, the observer, to ask, how has your pursuit of truth shaped your destiny? Are there moments in your life akin to Hamlet's reckoning, where the chasm between perception and reality has been bridged, and what lessons have you gleaned from these revelations? In the lyrical world of Twelfth Night, the resolution of dramatic irony brings not tragedy, but a harmonious conclusion to love's convoluted labors. Viola's true identity is revealed, and the characters' misunderstandings are rectified, leading to a celebration of unions. The audience, who was always in on the secret, rejoices in the satisfaction of resolution. This comedic turn invites reflection on the joyous moments when life's confusions are clarified and the true nature of our heart's desires becomes known. Have you experienced the euphoria of misunderstanding giving way to understanding and the forging of bonds that were once hidden by the veils of circumstances? Now, as we draw the curtains on our exploration, we understand that dramatic irony is not merely a theatrical device. It is a profound metaphor for the human experience. Our lives are replete with moments where the truth lies just beyond our grasp, where we play roles dictated by the scripts of society, personal obligations, or our own limited perspectives. But what of the moments when the veil is lifted, when the character of our own story gains the audience's perspective and sees the world with clarity? These are the transformative experiences that shape our narratives, the points at which we grow and evolve as protagonists in our personal sagas. As we pause at the threshold of the play's conclusion, we must ask ourselves, how will we apply the lessons of dramatic irony to our lives? Will we be vigilant observers, seeking to understand the broader narrative at play? Or will we remain players on the stage, oblivious to the grand design until the final act is upon us? The denouement of our discourse, much like that of any great play, leaves us with more than answers. It grants us the wisdom to ask better questions. The illumination of insight is a gift that allows us to see beyond the immediate scene, to anticipate the twists of fate, and perhaps to alter the course of the story before the final bow is taken. In the end, dramatic irony teaches us the value of perspective, the importance of truth, and the transformative power of revelation. It reminds us that, while we may not control the narrative, we have the agency to interpret, to understand, and to find our place within the unfolding drama of life. Thus, we draw the curtains closed on this act, with hearts and minds open to the unfolding dramas of our own lives, ever mindful of the power of knowledge and the revelations that await in the wings. May we all embrace the denouement of our destinies with courage, wisdom, and an ever-watchful eye for the truth that lies just beneath the surface.